Thank you. Thank you all for making the effort. Appreciate it. I'm a product of this temple, the preaching of this temple, and I learned a lot. Everything that I do, I learned from Hari Vilas Maharaj. I was in Seattle from 2005 to 2016 and had the fortune of serving here with all the devotees and Namavrat Prabhu and everyone, Raswati Mataji, Damodar Prasad Prabhu, everyone here. And after that, I've been kind of moving around India, and then I was back in Seattle for a year, and then I was traveling everywhere, and then back in India for 3 years. And I thought I'll keep coming back every 6 months, but I got busy. So now I'm back, and happy to be here in the Vedic Cultural Center where I grew up. And thanks to all of you, I get a chance to serve all of you here and also speak for my purification. I used to be an engineer like most of you here, and now I'm a professional life coach. And I serve people in building themselves up using tools from the Eastern wisdom and Western psychology, and then gradually bring them to connecting with God. So that's what I do professionally. And yesterday we did a talk on take charge of your emotions, right? I think some of you were there. I see one person here who was there from yesterday. I guess the talk wasn't a big hit. I didn't see a lot of people. No, come. It's okay. Yeah, and today we're going to talk about the spiritual keys to happy relationships. That's what we're going to talk about. And before we start, we'll offer prayers to Srila Prabhupada and the Panchatattva. And we can chant together. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you all. And I see two people from yesterday. I'm feeling encouraged. Okay. Anyway, let's start here. So we're talking about spiritual keys to happy relationships. I see some people online also. So yeah, Neeti Chaudhary and Seema Gupta, nice to have you online. And you're here for happy relationships. Is that possible in this material world? Or is the title a misnomer? Misnomer? You seem burnt out. Why do you think it's a misnomer? Sorry, I like to play around a little bit. Yes, why do you think it's a misnomer? Okay, so material world, you can't have true happiness, so there's no happy relationship in this material world. Are you married? Good preparation. Shadi ka laddu jo khaye na khaye. Yeah, okay. What is your viewpoint? Others? Yeah? And what is your key? What makes it possible? Take charge of your emotions. We did that yesterday. Good point. So, a lot of becoming solid within your own self, right? Thank you. Anyone else? G? That's a formula. So I have a friend, I have a couple, and one day she was like, I'm so frustrated, Namita, with my husband. And I'm like, why? And she's like, anytime he does a mistake and I start getting angry, and he's like, you're right, you're right, you're right. And I can't even say anything to him, and I know he's not processing anything, but it's just that that's how it is. So wives can be frustrated by that too. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, you want me to ask you, but you're too young, not so much experience. Yeah. My friend from yesterday. Oh, so you can't get full happiness in relationships, but you can be partially happy. You can be fully happy when you're Krishna conscious, but you can have some happiness in relationships when you have a spiritual mindset. Is that what you were trying to say? Okay, good. I'm happy I understood you well. Anyone else this side? Oh, Hare Krishna. Nice to see you. Anyone else this side? You want to say something? Yeah. Mm.
Become successful because there is a common um, like likability or loving channel that comes through. So instead of
Common goal.
common goal, so
Hmm.
instead of kid, it can be Krishna. That can be the
Okay, so
common.
when there's some center, what is the center? And
Yeah,
if they have a common center that they agree on, then there is happiness, and especially when it is amazing and it is perfect, when there is Krishna in the center, there is no cause for
yeah,
discord.
yeah, and it's not like transactional like you and me. It's more like via Krishna.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Are you all like Microsoft, Amazon engineers?
Sorry, me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm in Amazon.
okay, that's standard in Seattle, no? Okay, it used to be Microsoft, and before that, it used to be Boeing. Yes, sir.
So I have two answers to this question. One is like, if we keep Krishna as a center, then definitely everybody will be happy in the home, right? So that is more of the spiritual answer. But I work for Microsoft, Xbox, so I'll give you a the regular person answer as well. That if I have less expectation, no expectation in return, then I think I'll be happy. Like
So
it's
you're talking about some skills.
yeah,
Like while you have Krishna in the center, you also need to have some skills, and you're mentioning
the
about
expectation.
expectations,
Yeah,
like dialing down
yeah, exactly.
and having control on emotions and
Right. So don't expect like 5 dishes from your wife. Expect 3 dishes from her. Right. So everybody will be happy.
three is a lot. Didn't you know that? Wim- three is a lot nowadays. It's too
Exactly.
much. You're
Okay, I have no
expecting,
expectation.
yeah, you get fired for even expecting three.
Exactly.
I'm on your side, but
Good.
playing with what's going around nowadays. Yes. Okay, we have some good points here. Someone else wants to share? Girls, women, Matajis, all done? Okay, okay. Some people saying happiness is essence of any relationship. So today we're going to look at two stories. Okay, we're going to look at two couples' relationships and one brother, two like one between brothers. So we're trying to cover a little bit like that, right? And we're going to cover one incident, one conversation between Draupadi and Yudhishthir Maharaj, and another conversation between Sita Maharani and Lord Rama. Yes? So you get some perspective. And then also between Yudhishthir and Bhima, and if I have time, then between Yudhishthir and Arjuna. Okay? So we've covered. And if you tell me something about parents and all, go between the elder and younger relationships. It's kind of similar. Yeah? What do you have on the slide? Oh, okay. Now, let me start slides for my live streaming also, if they can see something. Okay. Please give me a moment. I have to figure this out. Hmm? That's on the temple's channel. I have my channel. Yeah. Okay. It's showing on my channel too. So there's this conversation between Draupadi and Yudhishthir Maharaj. So just try to get a little bit of perspective on personalities right now. Draupadi is born of fire, high pitta person, fiery lady. Yes? She has a certain nature. She has a certain nature, certain way of being, certain way of speaking. Yes? Uh, then we have Yudhishthir Maharaj, who's Dharmaraj, right? He personifies dharma and virtue. He'll choose that over anything and everything. Yes? Pran jai par bachan na jai. That kind of stuff can be very frustrating for family members. Yes? Right? Now, they've lost everything. They are in the forest. And Yudhishthir Maharaj, because he is so pious, he's absolutely has zero difficulty in adjusting to forest life. They're used to silken robes, they're used to the crown, they're used to the jewels, they're used to thousands of people serving them, a huge procession going out when they're leaving the kingdom, and all of that, right? Leaving the palace. And here, Yudhishthir Maharaj is now in this small little kutia, and very, very happy and peaceful over there. Constantly sages are coming and sages are going, and he's just so happy serving all of them, right? And all the time somebody comes, it's like when you lose your job. Has that happened to you? Have you been laid off? It's a badge of honor these days. You get laid off. Yeah. So when you get laid off, and the time between you get laid off and you're getting a job, everyone's like, bichara, looking at your face, so sad. They'll feel sad for you. They'll empathize with you. You know, don't worry, everything will be fine. And you're like, I don't want your sympathy. You know, I can manage myself. How come you know, and how come everyone knows, and how come the whole Indian community knows I don't have a job, and you know, this is hard, and God, they know why I got laid off, and you know, I guess that's the internal dialogue that happens inside. Now imagine you get laid off, and then everyone's like, very sad, very sad. And that's what was happening to the Pandavas in the forest. All the sages were coming. All the sages were coming, and they were serving them so nicely. Prasad and shelter and whatever they needed to do. But everyone would look at them with great pity. They were kings, and look at what has happened. Have you been on the receiving side of that? How does that feel? Does it boil you inside? Does it make you angry? I know you see that as care, but you're like, I'm not a object of pity. I am a capable person. I can do a lot, and you know, I'm going to show you. Does that happen? No? What's your internal dialogue? I'm trying to guess here, so you need to tell me. अच्छा हुआ ही नहीं है यहाँ पे lay off ही नहीं हुआ. Wrong question to the audience. ठीक है, next we'll move to the next one. Okay, there's no setback? Huh? Okay. Little sad? Okay. Yeah, okay. So you won't be angry, you'll feel sad. You'll start feeling. Okay. Thank you for helping me and speaking on behalf of the audience. I appreciate that. Yes.
Trying to answer it, explain it to others, that's more frustrating than
Okay.
the layoff itself.
Okay, layoff happened, I took a bullet, but now every time I have to explain how did that bullet come to me and I have to relive all of that is tough. Okay. Yeah. So say our kids, you know, when they're trying to make to the AP classes or IB, you're supposed to qualify, or Quest program or special, I don't know what all happens over here. I hear a lot of terms when I move around, and they don't make it for that exam. It's tough, right? Everyone knows you didn't make it. Everyone knows your SAT score. Everyone knows your IITG score. It's like public information, right? Now, this is what the Pandavas were facing for 6 years of being in exile. Draupadi got frustrated one day. Absolutely frustrated. She kept her patience for 6 years and she got frustrated. So a fiery personality kept her patience for 6 years and she got frustrated. Before that, I think Markandeya Rishi had come to see them, and he was the only one who did not look at Yudhishthir like he's a bichara, like he's a object of pity. And Yudhishthir Maharaj was like, everyone looks at me like this, Maharishi, how come you're not looking at me like this? And he says, you're following dharma, and dharma is going to protect you and bring everything that you deserve back to you, because you're following dharma. And therefore, when I look at you, I'm very pleased. The next moment, Draupadi is angry. Imagine, you know, your spouse is going to get angry when you get laid off and you do nothing for 6 years. Will that work? Dharma. Will that work? I am following dharma. I was wrongly fired. And everything will come to me on its own. How is your spouse going to feel? Will she wait or will he wait for 6 years? We're being gender neutral. Yeah? Will he or she wait for 6 years? Go work somewhere else. Come on, go, get a job. Yeah? They lose patience, right? Why? Why do they lose patience from those who attended yesterday? Because their dash is not being met. Their needs are not being met. Their needs for stability, security, safety, growth, predictability in their lives, all that is not being met. Yes? So Draupadi gets upset, but her upset is a little different. Yes, of course she's upset because she was disrobed because of all these decisions that were made, and now they're living this life. And then she goes to Yudhishthir Maharaj that, and she's also upset because she's seeing her husbands, how they're living, right? She's seeing that they're living in tatters, they're doing all their work on their own, they're collecting wood, they're chopping wood, they're collecting it, they're, building the fire, she's cooking, they're doing everything on their own, and, they don't have the means to serve the visiting mendicants, the sannyasis, the way they used to with, so much opulence and so much charity. And they used to wear silk, and, she's just looking at her husbands and also feeling like, they've lost their glory. And so she's grieving at various levels. And one level, and she speaks very elaborately, and you can read that section in the Mahabharata, where she speaks very elaborately about, you were surrounded by so much, and I feel so sad when I see you all in this situation. And, and then, you need to do something about it. Why don't you go to war? Right? This is all wrong that has happened, and you need to go to war. Right? And then what does Yudhishthir say? Maha irritation for the wife. What does Yudhishthir say? He says, we should forgive. Forgiveness is a virtue. And he gives, and today's talk is not about that conversation. We're trying to draw points from relationships, but there are many lessons in that discussion that they have, and you can hear it and watch it, like read it. It's not there in B.R. Chopra, Mahabharata or any, because these, you have to read the scriptures to know these things, right? And he talks like long about, how forgiveness is a virtue, and we need to forgive. And then Draupadi is like, you follow virtue, and your virtues are so important to you, even more than your wife and your brothers and all the people in the kingdom who were dependent upon you. Somehow you're married to virtue, and you're not, you don't care about anything else. Well, Yudhishthir very calmly responds to her that I understand dharma. I understand how dharma works. I have given my word that I will follow this thing. And therefore, I need to follow my dharma here. And I need to follow this vow, whatever I have taken and whatever I have promised. I cannot break my promise like that. Just by following this, everything will come. And plus, we need to be patient. Can you get me some water, please? Garima? Thanks. Yeah. So that's what Yudhishthir says. And then Draupadi says, what is this? Even Lakshmi Devi does not come to anybody who does not perform their karma, So I have a talk, if you want to say, on YouTube about, attracting wealth in your life and what is the true way to please Lakshmi Devi. You can watch it, right? And many details over there. But she says that, the wealth is not going to come without karma, without action. And that is what I have seen. There used to be one Brahmana used to come and be with my father, and he was teaching all these things, and I have heard it. And he's like, you're talking all adharmic things and atheistic things. And she said, no, I understand dharma, I understand fortune, I understand the mercy of the Lord, but we have to do our purushartha also, right? So she's talking about purushartha, and Yudhishthir seemingly is talking about only daiva. So there is daiva and purushartha in our lives, right? Daiva is the divine arrangements that happen, the divine mercy, the karmic results that you're getting, the divine forces that are supporting you in this life, right? And the Lord's mercy. Purushartha is your own endeavor. So Draupadi seems to be talking more about the Purushartha aspect. Yudhishthir is talking about, thank you, Prabhu. Sorry, I didn't carry it today. Yeah. So that's how the conversation is going, and I'm saying it very calmly here, but it was pretty heavy. Imagine a wife waiting for 6 years, there's no income in the house. Yeah? And the husband is like, virtue, dharma will. Glass is better. Thank you. Thank you. So then she says her point, he says her point. Are they tearing at each other's throat? Are they trying to kill each other? Are they trying to say, why don't you listen to me? You need to follow what I'm saying. Is anyone doing that? No, they are both strong personalities and they are both presenting their very strong but very diametrically opposed points. Yes? Like she's literally calling him, and you read the Shastra yourself. She's telling you're like useless, doing nothing, no karma, nothing. You just think things will happen on their own, right? And Moke pe chauka, Bhima joins in. He's also angry with his brother. What did you do? You did this wrong. He's like, चल रहा है, मैं भी हाथ धो लेता हूँ यहाँ पे, मैं भी बोल लेता हूँ जो मुझे बोलना है. So then he starts speaking. And he also says the same thing. We should have gone to war and we should have done this and we should have done that. And, it's because of you, our great strength is not being used and, so many things are going on. And then Yudhishthir keeps telling that it is not the right time for us. Right now, they are strong and we are weak. We can't win by attacking. And they're like, no, but Krishna had given us the option, but you didn't take it. And Yudhishthir is like, I don't think it's the right time. And then some saving grace, Vyasadev comes at that time. And then Vyasadev informs about how Bhishma and I don't remember the others, but I think it was Duryodhana, Bhishma and others, they have been praying and they've gotten all these weapons. They've been training and they've been praying and doing their austerities and meditations and they're getting these weapon siddhis. And Yudhishthira is like, see, we could not fight them anyway and now they're even stronger. So there will be a time when we will have the strength and we will be able to do it. Now, and the discussion goes longer, but I'm going to end here. So my question here is that, let's go to the next, The question here is that, how does their marriage survive this argument? You think it ends? I've given you a very simple, very smooth version because I'm speaking in the temple here, but if you read it, it's much stronger in the Shastras, if you read the Mahabharata. So how does this survive? Imagine, imagine the amount of bitterness that can be there in Draupadi. Right? And how is Yudhishthir Maharaj able to give that space? Now, we're made to wrongly believe that in our culture, women are suppressed and women are this and women are that and, all this culture. But look at how much space is being given, not even being given. I mean, there's no need to give any space to anybody, right? She is expressing herself and she has, Yudhishthira is not getting offended by her speaking. Yes? And he is giving counter arguments to her and she's listening. She's not saying, you must listen to me. How dare you not listen to me? You need to provide for me. You need to fight for my disrobement and you need to do this. And she's also coming from a space of you have been disrespected. Now, how does that argument survive and they continue living together for so many years? Right? Right? Now, even how does the relationship between Bhima and Yudhishthira remain solid in spite of very strong language that Bhima is speaking to Yudhishthira? Any keys? Okay. Respect of younger to elder, elder to younger. What kind of respect? Okay. But here, youngers are speaking rudely to elders, seemingly. So Yudhishthira is giving that space and he's allowing them to be. Right? So I think you mean mutual respect, right? Now, even there is another. Okay, let's go on a little bit more with this. Any insights on how come this is still surviving and being solid? How come they're not tearing at each other's throats and you must listen to me and Kamosh, I'm the elder one. How dare you speak to me like that? Not even once he says that. Okay, they're still engaging within the boundaries of dharma, but you and I can also engage in the boundaries of dharma but get really angry and irritated with each other. I see your point. I'm just trying to get the next point here. So dharma is a good point. They have a value system based on which they are having an argument. Okay? Yeah, you were saying something? Someone here? Okay, the elder has a love for the dharma, the younger one, so he's allowing him to be. and speak whatever he needs to speak. But to tolerate as an elder, all this, words, yes.
The balance, understanding the heat of the moment versus having the long-term picture of the love which binds us together.
Okay, so instead of just getting lost in the heat of the moment, there is object continuity in psychological terms. They know that we have the depth of our relationship and we have so much mutual respect. And this heat of the argument, we can just handle it and deal with it. It doesn't mean anything. I don't take it personally. And okay, that's what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, good point. Anyone else?
Because when we are frustrated, we let the other person vent, right? So like just take out all the anger, like anger or whatever feelings they have. So just speak up. So maybe they are
Okay.
following that or practicing it.
Good. So these are very good points. Now, what type of person you need to be to allow the other person to be able to vent and speak and do whatever they want? What type of person do you need to be?
Actually, if it applies to me, I'll be start doing breathing exercise like 4-7-8. Speak whatever you wanna speak.
Get deeper. Okay. Okay. Okay, you'll do. So, your main point though was respect, concern, and respect, space. Okay. And for that, you need to be. Did someone here say something that I missed? Okay. Actively listening and being supportive of what they're saying. But at the same time,
Understanding them and giving valid arguments to what they believe. Like it's more like a exchange of thoughts rather than an argument.
okay, but they were heated up.
Okay.
Yeah? So, but they're still considering it as an exchange of thoughts and not an argument.
Not taking it personally.
Not taking it personally. Okay. So, just a few points here. What type of a person? Yes, breathing exercise is one. Having these ways of thinking. Let's get some keys here, right? Let's get some keys here and from the audience. We're all here co-creating. So get some keys here on what type of a person do you need to be. Let's define that. What type of a person do you need to be? See, and is Yudhishthir's opinion changing by listening to Draupadi? Is he swaying? He's like, ठीक है यार, इतना बोल रही है, I'll just do this. Is that happening? Is Draupadi is like, okay, Yudhishthir is like really giving me a lot of arguments. He sounds flustered and, okay, not a good time, let it go and I'll just do whatever he wants me to do. Is that happening? Huh? They're both holding their ground. That takes some to be solid in your own self. Correct? How many of us give in? I'm not saying don't give in. Give in when it's needed, when it's not needed, and you have to make those decisions in the spur of the moment. But how many of us just like listen and let's do what they want, and then later on we're not very happy inside with giving in, and then we get passive aggressive. Does that happen? So one of the qualities here is that both are solid in themselves. They're very strongly self-partnered. That's a word I use a lot, and we'll explain what that means. It's not some fancy psychological term. We'll also talk about what Srila Prabhupada has to say about this and what it means within the framework of Krishna consciousness. They're very solid in themselves, they're dharmic, and they're very strongly self-partnered. And they know how to. Usually what happens in arguments is like, why are you not listening to me? Oh my God, you're just negating everything I say. Does that happen? Do we get emotional when the other person doesn't agree with us? Doesn't happen? It happens, right? Why does that happen? Okay, but yesterday we talked about needs, right? You can watch the recording. So what need of ours, like we want to be satisfied, that the other person must listen to me, must agree to me. If they don't agree with me, then I have no significance, no? Yeah, no control power, no value, right? Do either of them have that need? They don't. Neither Yudhishthir Maharaj, neither Draupadi have that need, that they're able to have that argument and disagree with each other and still be together, because they're both, when I say solidly self-partnered, self-loving, they are able to take care of themselves. They are able to give them that give themselves the acknowledgement, give themselves the value, the worth. They're able to give that to themselves. They don't lose it when the other person doesn't give it to them. Happens with us in meetings too. We're presenting something, entire team is disagreeing with us. Some of us who have a need for approval can feel totally dejected. Oh no, mere team mere against the sochti, let me, some people just want to, they just keep agreeing to get along because they want to be valued outside, right? But here, they know how to give themselves that value, and it's okay if somebody disagrees with me. I am solid in myself. Now, does that mean, but they are partnered with dharma also. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to listen to myself. No, they're very dharmic. Both of them are very dharmic individuals. They understand the scriptures, they follow the gurus. But there can be differences even between devotees who are following Krishna. Draupadi, Yudhishthir, Bhima, Arjuna. Now let's hear one argument between Arjuna. I don't have a slide for that, but I'll just explain that and then we'll move to the next slide. So during the war, Karna was like Karna came on the battlefield and then he was wreaking havoc. Yes? And they had a strategy by which they got Arjuna busy on the other side of the war. And Karna, because they knew Arjuna could stand up to Karna, so they didn't want that to happen. And Arjuna and Karna started cornering Yudhishthir Maharaj. Badly. Very badly. And Yudhishthir Maharaj got very badly hit by various arrows. His horses got hit by arrows. And they had to leave the battlefield and go back to the camp so that Yudhishthir Maharaj could recover. And Yudhishthir Maharaj was fuming with anger. This is dharma personified, almost, yes, fuming with anger. So upset. And somehow Arjuna gets wind that Yudhishthir Maharaj has been very badly injured. And he's not able to concentrate on the battlefield because his brother is so badly injured and so much love and affection. And then he's like, let me go, I want to see Yudhishthir, he tells Krishna. Somehow they navigate and they reach the camp. What mood is Arjuna in? Love and compassion, concern, care, right? What mood is Yudhishthir Maharaj in? Anger towards Arjun. This was Arjuna's role, to fight Karna, and how dare he not be here, and how could he leave me alone, and this is such an embarrassment for me, and he's not as skilled, and he's in that mood. And now he enters the camp. The moods are very different. Yes? What's going to happen? Both are going to get frustrated? Listen to the story. This is happening with the Pandavas. They go over there and what has happened to you? I'm so sorry to see you in this state and everything. And I immediately left everything, and me and Krishna, we came here for you. And this is like, what, you left everything? Where were you when Karna came? And how could he even touch me when you were present on the battlefield? And there's no point in having a brother like you. Your Dhanur Vidya is a total waste. You're a useless archer. Who says you're the best archer in the world? And you should just drop the Gandiva and live like a mendicant. How is Arjuna feeling? Terrible. मैं तो इतने प्यार से आया and ये क्या मेरे को मिल रहा है? ऐसा, that happens to us. We go with so much love and affection to somebody and that other person just screaming. Where is their maturity of understanding each other and giving space to each other? These are the same people Yudhishthir in that argument and now over here. Yes, same person. The situation is different. War and all, it agitates mode of passion. You know what Arjuna does? Arjuna gets a sword out. I'm going to kill Yudhishthir. And Krishna is like, what are you doing? What is going on here? You are Arjun. This is your brother, elder brother. We are fighting against the Kauravas, not with each other. What are you doing? He's like, no. I have taken a vow. If anyone tells me to drop the Gandiva, I will cut that person's head. Krishna like, what? And it's like, why do you all take so many vows? So many things happen because you all have taken so many messed up vows. And then Krishna says one very important point there. He's like, haven't you served the vridh in your life that you are behaving like that? Again, that's a side point, not the main point of the talk, but it was very interesting. Krishna said that, and I felt there was so much wisdom packed in that. And we'll just take a little detour and talk about that and then come back to our main point. What is Krishna saying? I'm shocked by your behavior. What are you doing? You're taking out a sword on your elder just because he told you to drop the Gandiva. And what kind of vows do you all take? Useless vows, no point in these vows. And haven't you served the elders in your life? No, he didn't say elders, he said vridha. Haven't you served the vridha in your life? Right? Because of which you don't have self-control. What's the point Krishna is making? When you serve the vridha, now what is vridha? Yeah, so vridha is elder by age and elder by wisdom. Even the very wise people are considered as, the word is used, vridha. So, for us to develop self-control, I can teach you all 20 mindfulness techniques and everything. Another thing to add, which is there in our Shastras, is to learn how to serve the vridha. Because when we do that, we develop a lot of self-control. Now coming back to our main focus, what is happening here? Both are devotees of the Lord, both are fighting for dharma, both are such amazing personalities, but in the heat of the moment, they're both talking like that. Imagine Arjuna is ready to kill Yudhishthir, the person he was so concerned about, mera bhai, and like he's coming over there and know what happened to my brother, and like, how dare you speak like this to me, I'm gonna kill you. And like, you were just worried about him. Does that happen to us? Now, in spite of that, the beauty in Mahabharata is how are they able to have a solid relationship? Your brother says this to you, gets a sword out, I kill you. How long will you remember it in your life? Till next life. Yes? A husband says this to his wife, the wife says this to the husband. How long are you going to remember this? Every time there is potential to bring it up. I have a weapon. I have something to show you here, yeah? We're going to remember it. It hurts pretty bad, huh? It does. People we love and they talk like that. But how are these people still able to be solid and have a relationship? Why am I bringing these stories up? Because there are arguments, there are disagreements. They're ready to kill each other, insult each other. Arjuna is known for the Gandiva, and Arjuna's vow was to never leave the Gandiva. So ever since he got it, he was always holding it. That was his thing. And these are the disagreements that are happening, and they're still together, strongly bonded, and they're going ahead. Am I making sense? Is this connecting? Can you follow what's happening? Is the story forming in your head? Is a thread forming in your head about the points? Okay, before we move to the next story, any quick points you'll want that are coming you want to, add for enhancing this discussion that we're having? Yes? No? Yes? No? Come on, you all are having some realizations. You're sitting in front of Neelam Madhav, giving us a lot of inspiration and insight. Yeah, go ahead, please.
So relationship matters. It's not like they say that like love at first sight and leaving a divorce at first fight kind of thing. So at least we can see here the relationship building where you just start talking to Draupadi. They're listening to each other, having arguments, but there's a relationship, right? Again, Arjuna and Yudhishthira having argument, but the relationship is there. So relationship is a key. But arguments happens. We should take it. We should listen, and we should vent whenever we need to. But at the end, we should, we need to understand there's a relationship. It's not like, hey, fighting is the end of our relationship. So
Okay,
relationship
so-
is a key here.
So the relationship is the key, and even if all these arguments and disagreements and everything is happening, we're committed to each other.
Yep.
Right? And we're able to be committed to each other because we are not emotionally dependent.
Yeah.
We're emotionally independent, right? So you have one emotionally independent and solid person, another emotionally independent and solid person who are choosing to be interdependent. Yeah?
Yep.
Emotionally independent, choosing to be interdependent. Right? This is not codependency. Oh my God, you disagree with me. That's, oh my God, I have no value if you disagreed with me, if you're not here with me, if there's nothing happening. I have no value. Oh my God, I have to have this person agree with me, and I'll do whatever they say. And you kind of keep disconnecting and divorcing from your own self every time, just so that you can please the other person, right? That's codependency, because you're not solid in yourself. So here you're seeing very solid, emotionally independent people, but they're choosing to be interdependent, they're choosing to serve each other, and choosing to stay committed to each other. Is that key number one? Okay, let's look at the next story. We have patience for another story? Yeah? So in the Ramayana, there is this conversation between Goddess Sita and Lord Ram, Ramchandraji. Yes? Now what is this conversation? They are in Vanavas and they are about to go to the Dandakaranya forests because Rishi Shringi, I think, has asked them to go there. What name? I forget the name of the Rishi. I'm not so good with these things. So they're going to, the Dandakaranya forests, right? Now, what is Lord? I mean, when you remember, whatever Ramayana we have seen and the description of the Lord in the Ramayana, when he's in the forest, what is his outfit? What is he wearing? Valkal Vastra. He's wearing clothes made of the tree bark, right? That's what he's wearing. So he's living in what order of life? From the kingly order, he's come down to the renounced order of life. Correct? Right? So Sita asks him a question. What is this? It's not making any sense to me. All this sab doglapan hai. Somebody says that online? Yeah? So he's caught in his doglapan right now. So so she's like, oh, what is this? No, I can't understand this. You've taken shelter of the vana life, the forest life, the renounced life, and why are you carrying a bow and arrow? When you're living the life of a mendicant, a life surrendered to the Lord in the forest, why are you carrying a bow and arrow? This is about gun control. I had heard Harivilas Maharaj share this in a class like 8-9 years ago. And he explained it so nicely, and I'm sharing this with you. Right? So she says, if you don't carry a bow and arrow, no, Ram says, I'm carrying this because the Rakshasas are here. Point? Her point is, if you carry a bow and arrow, the Rakshasas will become scared, they'll think that we are here to harm them, and they'll unnecessarily attack us. So if you don't carry a bow and arrow, they won't feel threatened, and they won't attack us. Arguments left, right, for and against gun control. And that time Harivilas Maharaj asked us the question in the class. So what should Lord Ram do? Huh? Okay. He should go against his wife? I'm saying exactly what Harivilas Maharaj said in that class. I'm repeating the script. He said that when somebody said he should carry a bow and arrow, then he said, should he go against his wife? Huh? It should be like a deterrent. The bow and arrow is like a deterrent. So he can go against his wife, but have it as a deterrent. Okay, other arguments for and against, please? Yes?
Like, he can do a logical reasoning. Hey, Rakshasa, their basic nature is attacking. Whether you carry it or not carry it, if they see you, they will attack you. So, with logical reasoning, you can convince your wife.
Okay.
At least you can try.
Okay. So it should be like a deterrent, and the Rakshasas by nature are they're fierce, and they have that nature to kill unnecessarily, so it is important to protect yourself, you need to have it. So logical reasoning. Camouflage, okay. Creative engineering. So camouflage.
Yeah.
Prabhu, I'm feeling like you'll get tired walking around. Maybe they can speak louder. Yeah?
Maybe other option is you carry it when you go alone, when Rama goes alone, and don't carry it when he's with Sita.
Then if Sita's there means more danger, right? Who will protect when someone will attack her?
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Okay, thinking aloud. Okay. So, so what arguments Sita Maharani gives are true for a regular person. Yes? But who is Lord Ram? What Varna is he born in? He's born as a Kshatriya? Yes? And what is the Kshatriya's dharma? To protect. Fight is the strategy to protect them. Okay. So this duty is to protect dharma and protect those dependent on him. And the rishis have like requested him for his protection. That please protect us from the attacks of the Rakshasas. We need your protection. And Sita like, disturb nahi karenge, aap uthayenge nahi to nahi hoga aise. And the women by nature are, it's described in the Bhagavatam also, a vam swabhav. They're compassionate by nature. Right? They want to keep everyone together, and they have that intelligence which is helpful in nurturing the family. Yes? But we all need to develop, women and men need to develop that logical intellect. It's good for our natural roles, whatever intellect we have, but when we're on the opposite side, we have to develop those masculine and feminine characteristics also. So Lord Ram is the Lord himself. He has enough self-control to know when to use the weapon. For a regular person who can just, as we're seeing shooting happening in America, not a good idea, right? What Sita ji is saying is correct. But for someone like Lord Ram, and of course, this is a conversation so that we learn, and this is their husband-wife Leela with each other, the Lord and the consort, right? So then Lord Ram carries the weapon. Now, the words used are very strong. I'm giving you like very toned down versions. The words used by Sita Devi are very strong in this conversation. Also, the words that Sita Devi uses when Lakshman refuses to go, because, my brothers told me to protect you and I cannot leave you. The words she uses are very strong at that time, very insulting at that time. But it's, she's in that state and she's expressing that. Also, the words that Bharat Maharaj uses when he comes back and he sees, this is before all of this has happened, that his father has left the planet, left his body, and Lord Ram has been sent to Vanvas. And Kaika is very happy. I'll make you a king, I'll make you a king. He's like, what nonsense, what kind of a woman are you? Like, you should read the Ramayana, therefore you all should read the scriptures. The words he uses against his mother are extremely strong. Now, I'm not saying you should also use strong language and it's all allowed. All I'm saying is that even if these things happen, Bharat still continues serving his mother very nicely, right? So we are disagreeing, but we follow dharma. So what is the conclusion from here? This conversation, the first few examples, we've come to one key we've developed is that we need to give space to each other. We need to act. The relationship is the strong binding force here. And we may have disagreements, we may have arguments, we may say things to each other, but a relationship is what is a strong binding force. And it takes two emotionally independent people to be choosing to be interdependent and committed and serving to each other. Yeah? And from this, do you derive the same, or is there any addition to our keys here? Am I making you all think too much? Is this okay, or should I just go in a flow? But I get bored, if I talk. Yeah. Just speak louder so that.
Need and feeling.
Yeah.
I think you talked about that. Probably that might be the next
Okay.
the key here.
So when you are emotionally independent, that means you have understood to what your own needs and feelings are, right? And because you've gone so deep in your own consciousness, you've understood yourself so well, you've understood your own vulnerabilities, your needs, your feelings so well. What you're drawing from yesterday is that the second key is to be able to understand the other person, their needs and feelings, and give them space and respect for that. Okay, the second key, how many of us follow it? Okay, Sakhi Priya Mataji. How many of us are even aware of our own needs and feelings? Yesterday we did an exercise and we were not so aware of needs and feelings, and we put out some flashcards. If you want, you all can get them today, which has a list of needs, vocabulary of needs and vocabulary of feelings. Just so that in the moment you can check what's happening based on the talk yesterday. So, how many of us understand even our own needs? Food, shelter, that much we understand. I want a good job, I want a good salary, I want a paid off, a mortgage I can handle, a house I can handle, the lawn that I can mow. Okay. Yeah, but we have needs, right? Needs for significance, needs for certainty in our lives, needs for simplicity, needs for contribution, need for growth. How many of us are able to give words, like describe these needs in words? No. इतने बड़े बड़े हो गए. हाँ. Right. It's forced by the process. So you do it. But the thing is, for the key number one, which is to be emotionally independent, we need a lot of self-awareness. And self-awareness, and thank you for him to bring up the point that we discussed yesterday, comes from being aware of our own needs and feelings, where we stand. And a lot of relationship difficulties happen because we don't even have clarity on what we want. Because when you know what you want, and if you are strongly self-partnered and you're self-loving, you'll take care of it yourself. You won't wait for somebody else to do it for you. So you're not feeling empty then. मुझे प्यार नहीं मिला, मुझे प्यार नहीं मिला. You know how to love yourself. You know how to take care of yourself, so you're less needy in a relationship. Are we good with that? Does that connect? Do you follow? Doubts, questions? Example? Chahiye? Does an example help? Say we already talked about the need for validation. Yes? Now say if I have a need for a cake on my birthday, but my family doesn't make the cake for me. Now what are the needs here? It's not just the need to have a cake on my birthday, but to have that need, that moment of a loving exchange between me and my family members, where they acknowledge me, recognize me, and I feel like I'm part of something, and I'm, part of connected and things like that. Yeah, am I making sense? Now nobody bakes a cake. Nobody brings a cake. What would you do in that situation? मेरा केक कहाँ है? सब दोगलापन है. मेरा केक कहाँ है? Yeah? Okay, you'll tell them, and then they'll say, so what if I didn't make a cake for you? I didn't bring a cake for you. So what? Hurt, more hurt inside. You know what I would do? I would just bake a cake for myself. Huh? But I want a cake. They know I like a cake. I love a cake. Birthday's coming soon, letting you know.
I think if you have a need, you should share your need with other people, set an expectation. And like I started when we having
Set an expectation. We have a manager talking. Yes, go ahead, sir, please. See, I'm not saying that to you. This happens to all of us. This is how we carry the work language. It affects our psychology, and this is how we start approaching stuff at home. And especially if when you're in software, everything is logic, everything is fixable, everything is a bug. That doesn't happen in relationships. Yeah, go ahead. Next.
I lost my thought now.
Sorry.
No, what I'm
Set the expectation.
you set the expectation. So need, setting an expectation. And
Yeah.
when we started our conversation, I started with when you should not have more expectation from the others, right? So I'm just trying to connect this. Like, first of all, we have a need, right? Then we have a setting an expectation. Then I'm also saying that, okay, we should not have, if you want to be happy, you should not have more expectation from others.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like combining all these three things, and I'm not sure
He's a good manager, no? Like, this is a problem. How do I manage?
how to confuse people. Right, that's what we do.
No, you guys do a good job. Okay, so the point is that, so emotional independence, right? The second point that we want to do is that awareness of our own needs. And yesterday we talked about this, that I am complete and I can take care of myself. That doesn't mean I don't need the love and affection, and I don't appreciate, and I don't feel like all warm and cozy and fuzzy in the love and affection of my family members. I would love for that to happen. I would love for it to happen. I appreciate it so much. But for some, when it doesn't happen, it's what? End of the world. We talked about disasterization yesterday. Remember? Those who were here? Like this boy, we were talking to my favorite boys. Hey, you're missing you in the front. We had so much fun yesterday. Come. So yesterday, I think we were talking about, right, like that our reactions, what would your reaction be on a scale of 1 to 100? I'm repeating that. When there's a fire in your house. And one Prabhu said 90. My reaction would be 100. Oh, I'm just pulling your leg just so that we can all have fun at your expense, but I don't mean anything, yes?
No, that's fine. I think you caught it right. I'm a manager at Microsoft, so it's awesome. Good job. So, like, that's what I tell.
Did you say good job?
In recognizing me that I'm a manager, right? So, good job. It's not reaction, it's responsive. Like, you think surrounding the situation, and then, you see what actions you need to take.
Right.
So it's more of the responsive, not reaction.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm talking about a little bit different, but thank you
Okay.
for sharing, yes? But good job. Yeah, okay. So we're talking about needs and being able to express our needs. It's like, मेरा बर्थडे है, कल केक मिलेगा कि नहीं, बनाएंगे कि नहीं, होगा कि नहीं? Is that how we are? And I'm talking about a cake. It could be a sari, it could be a vacation, it could be a loving gesture, it could be a food. I don't know what you want, right? It could be anything. You're like anticipating. Will they understand? Will they know? Will this happen? How many of us do that? We do that? We do that? How many more of us do that? You do that too? Not at work. With your reports, you're like, ye karna hai, promotion tabhi milega. That because the job requires that, yeah. Yeah, okay. How many of us are unable to express our needs? Okay. Why are we unable to express our needs? We may be rejected. But internally, I'm going to be. Okay, because we have fear for being rejected, We like, मैंने express कर दिया और नहीं किया तो बहुत बड़ी फजीती हो जाएगी. Yeah, we might not be understood, or they may say too demanding, they may say, and after I say it and they don't do it, I'll feel so big, such a bigger rejection in my life. Yeah? A lot of So I grew up in Bombay, right? We say पूछना मेरा काम है, मना करना उसका काम है. हम बॉम्बे की भाषा में हम लोड नहीं लेते, उसने मना कर दिया, right? We're very bindas people. Anyway, going back to the gravity of what we're talking, why are we unable to express our needs? Because one thing is we fear rejection. We don't want to seem clingy. We don't want to seem demanding. Some men also raised their hand. I think Sir Prabhu at the back near the speaker, you raised your hand about why you don't express your needs.
Well, first of all, I don't want to set expectations in this kind of situation, like the cake example that you get. I don't like setting that expectations with my family members. But there are some other incidents where
Yeah,
I'm in like 50-50 probability, like, okay, should I ask or should I tell them or not?
right.
My first answer is like, oh, just let them come back and I will not say anything. And sometimes it's like, oh, if I don't say it properly, then how will they know what?
So we also don't know how to communicate.
Yes,
Is
how
that-
to communicate effectively or the right
Okay.
right way or the right time.
Okay. So we don't know how to communicate. We fear being rejected. We fear feeling clingy and all that. And I would like to add a point here. How many of us are even aware of our needs? How connected are you to your own self? Speak louder so everyone can listen.
But even if it doesn't happen, it doesn't hurt you that much, so it's probably not the need. So it's like mind is tricky. So how to process? Like,
Yeah,
what
but the
is-
thing is, we're not extremely elevated beings right now. We're following the process of Krishna consciousness. We are trying to grow. We are trying to be very thoughtful about what we really truly need. Is only thing is service to Krishna, but we're not there yet,
Yeah,
right?
it's like your mind is somewhere, your body
Yeah.
is somewhere. Yeah.
So the thing is, my sense is, because I do this as a profession, a lot of people are not aware of what they need.
One of the reason could be because we are evolving, right? So let's say when you are a kid, like getting a good toy is your need, and then you changes right as you grow. So as we are evolving, right, the needs are also changing. So we might not. Be
But
able
you
to
don't have a review
keep up.
process.
Yeah. So we don't know. Like today we think, okay, this is our need, extremely needed, and tomorrow we like, oh, that was not really needed, and I messed
So
up
there is
because
some
of this.
self-abnegation going on. There's some self-correction going on. You're
Yes.
like examining ये जरूरी है क्या, कितना क्या हो रहा है मुझे, इतना I'm following spirituality, इसकी क्या ज़रूरत है, छोड़ो इसको.
Exactly.
All that is happening. Your needs are transforming. Yeah, that can be confusing. That can be a confusing state. Like रखूँ, छोड़ूँ, hold on करूँ, नहीं करूँ. Yeah, that happens to a lot of us. Yeah, right. But let's go back to our point here. So a lot of good discussion here, and thank you, a very nice audience. Is that to be emotionally independent means you need to be aware of your needs and feelings and to be able to take care of yourself. Accepted? That does not mean that you don't appreciate loving exchanges, that you don't long for loving exchanges from your family and your relationships. But if it doesn't happen, it's not a disaster. It's not like a fire in your house. How do we usually react? We react as if it's like the end of the world. Yeah? My God, there is no meaning in this relationship. They could not even do this for me. See, cake is just a metaphor for all the things in life right now, yes? But it's not a disaster if that happens. You can take care of yourself, right? So the second key is emotionally independent, knowing how to take care of your needs and feelings. And let's talk a little bit about some learnings. I already knew. No, I had the slide ready, right? So emotional balance is some of the key points you all said. Emotionally independent is what we discussed. Being very self-assured is also something that we saw in Yudhishthir Maharaja's story. Did we see that or not? Did we see that even in Bhima was very self-assured? Arjuna was very, I'm self-assured in different ways, right? And they were assured of the permanent citizenship in that relationship. मेरा वीज़ा H1B कट नहीं जाने वाला है यहाँ पे, है ना? जब तक वो I-140 नहीं आएगा. I have permanent citizenship in this family, permanent citizenship in this relationship. And why is that possible? Because both of them have decided to be committed to each other. It's not about mera need, mera need. They have decided to commit in spite of all the differences, yes? And they're strongly self-partnered. Correct? Yes, no. Now, what does it mean? What is this self-partnered? What is this self-love? And what does Srila Prabhupada say about this? Right? So I found this nice quote by Srila Prabhupada. Is that on the screen? Next slide, please. I found this nice quote by Srila Prabhupada because I talk a lot about self-love on various platforms, and then I have some devotees coming to me and like, what's self-love? You're all in Maya. What is this self-love? We have to love Krishna. You know, what nonsense are you teaching? And I'm like, no, I'm not teaching nonsense. Prabhupada said it. Yes. Now, how does Prabhupada explain it? And if you read from, should we read the whole thing? Can somebody take the mic and read this, please? You want to read this for us? Everyone? Where's the mic? Yes, Prabhu, here in the front. You don't want to read? Okay. Read from similarly after May 8, 1968.
Similarly, our human form of life, the aim should be to understand Krishna or Vishnu. That should be the aim of life. Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surya. So here also the same thing, Vishnu Pado
Pasarpanam Yadesha Sarva Bhutanam Priya Sar. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Sarva Bhutana means all living entities. Priya, Priya, that is real dear object. Sarva Bhutanam Priya Atmeswara Suhut. He is the proprietor of myself. He is the super self, just like I love this body. Why? Because I am the spirit self or soul is within this body. Therefore, just like I love this apartment. Why? Because I live here. Similarly, I love this body because I am spirit soul. I am living within this body. Therefore, I try to protect it. Real love is to myself. So naturally, if you love yourself, then this self is the part and parcel of the super self. Therefore, you love indirectly the super self. And Suhart, and he's your actually intimate friend. Suhart means who is always wishing your good. The Vedic information says that the Supreme Lord, as Super Soul, is sitting with you in the same tree. The individual soul and the Super Soul is sitting in the heart, and this body is considered as tree. And he's seeing my activities. He's trying to get me back to Godhead. So in whichever form of life I am transmigrating, he is also going with me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for reading. So key points for me when I read this, and I'll love to hear what key points came out for you in this space of loving the self, is that why do we love the self? So what is the self-love that I'm talking about? And why is that important? And how is Srila Prabhupada explaining this is, and he says that, and in another letter and another talk, and if you search for loving the self and what Srila Prabhupada says about that, you'll find many things. But the point here is that I love myself, my body, my needs, my feelings and everything. I'm connected to Krishna. I love myself. I see myself from Krishna's point of view, how Krishna sees me. And therefore, I am going to honor myself. I'm going to take care of my needs and feelings so that I can serve Krishna very nicely. Yes? Are you all following with me, not with me, against your principles, in line with your principles? Huh? Yeah, you're following? See, and Prabhupada explains this, right? He says, real love is to myself, right? He says, similarly, therefore, he says, because I'm the spirit self, I love this body, right? From the body, it goes to the apartment. So basically, we want to love, take care of ourselves, honor ourselves. And true honoring and true respecting yourselves is to truly respect your needs and feelings and take care of them within the framework of Krishna consciousness, right? We don't want to become shameless beings. I think my needs, my feelings, my rules, this is nonsense, It's not going to help you if you just go away from dharma, right? You take care, you honor your needs and feelings within the realm of dharma. And as an interesting point brought up by this Prabhuji, is also that we're having an evolution, right? We're getting purified by following the process of Krishna consciousness. We're reading the scriptures, we're chanting the holy name, We are serving the devotees, we are honoring prasadam, we are glorifying the deities, we're offering devotional service. As we are doing this, our needs are getting lesser and lesser. That's what you were mentioning, right? Our needs are getting lesser and lesser. So acknowledging that and keep continuing growing forward. Are you with me? Now, how does this help in relationships? We're talking about, let's go back to the topic, right? Keys to relationships. How does this help in relationships? Because, yeah. Someone saying something here? No? How does this loving yourself help you in having a better relationship? Yeah, that's a good point. Huh? Then people want to be around you. Yeah. Yes, we can. Yes, we can serve better to have a good relationship. Yes, at the back. Yes, make others happy. If you are happy, you can make others happy. Good point.
Communicate that, bringing to the point that you were talking about.
Yes, you can communicate, and you're not needy and clingy actually, right? Because when you can take care of your needs, you're not thinking that, oh, my partner should take care of all my needs. And if you don't do that, you're a horrible partner, I have a horrible marriage. No, right? So I belong culturally to the state of Rajasthan. And there's a joke, and I can't say in Marwari because you won't understand it. So I'll translate it in English and it'll lose the punch, but I'll still share it with you, yes? So there's this joke that goes that, they used to have the child marriages at that time to protect from, the other Islamic, whatever forces used to happen. So they used to get the girls committed in the childhood, and then they would stay separately. And then when they were old and reached puberty, then there would be something called as gauna. That's when they would start, the girl would go to her in-laws and start living with the husband. So this girl goes and the kids, they're still young, 12, 13, and they don't know how to do things. And her nose starts running. Yes? And then the mother-in-law says, Beenani, daughter-in-law, your nose is running. And she goes, I'll say it in Marwari, then I'll translate it in English. She says, Jiko layo boi potse. So she says, the guy who took my responsibility, it's his job to wipe my nose, clean my nose. You got it? So binni ji turo naak bhe. Then she goes, Jiko layo boi potse. Right? That's what happens when you don't take care of your needs. Imagine the load on the spouse when they have to even clean your running nose. Do you think they want to be with you? No. I see stress, I see work, I don't want to be here, I don't see pleasure. Yes? Right? All I'm saying is there are some basic needs of your own self that you need to take care of yourself. Right? Otherwise, you're going to be like that Bidani sitting over there waiting for someone to wipe her nose. And when that doesn't happen, one thing is she's going to stink. And she's going to be upset and frustrated for that person not being able to anticipate and do his job of cleaning her nose. No, you got to clean up after yourself. And similarly, we got certain things. And the more emotionally resilient we are, the more we take care of our own needs, the more solid we can be in relationships. Otherwise, you're going to feel frustrated, abandoned, lost, lonely all the time. You follow with me? Imagine if nobody wipes that Binani's nose, that bride's nose. How is she going to feel? Nobody cares for me. This house is horrible. They don't even clean my nose. And that's a metaphor for a lot of things in life. So the more self-sufficient you are, the more solid you are in your own self, I'll come to you. The more connected you are to your own self in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, you're going to feel very low. And we'll come to that point in a few. The more you're able to have a happier relationship with people. And when Raswati Mataji once, many years ago, we used to run a women's program, and when we had the first program in the library, and she said that no matter what happens in my life, I want to be happy all the time, because nobody wants to be around a sad and frustrated person. That's wisdom. You can give a shoulder 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, then like, nahi yaar, gila ho jata hai. Too much load, I don't want to do it. Are you with me? So self-love is not taking care of the cage and letting the bird die. Self-love is not just taking care of your body, your needs and feelings, and your intellectual pursuits, and your need for challenge, and your need for all those basic needs that are defined by the Panchakosha, and we'll explain it again. It's taking care of the soul. So you take care of your needs, feelings, and all those things with a point of connection to Krishna. And what is that point of connection to Krishna? I have been given this body. Let me use it for my spiritual growth. And I need to honor whatever level of consciousness I am at. I can't suddenly jump there, so let me honor wherever I haven't yet evolved. I'm at a basic level right now. Let me honor that and gradually move ahead. Right? And what are the needs of the self? We went over this yesterday. Today I thought I'll put up a diagram for you. So you have the basic physical needs, Annamaya Kosha, the bodily needs, the needs for stability, security. This is from the Taittiriya Upanishad. You can go through, Prabhupada talks about this in Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, 8th verse purport or 12th. I don't remember exactly, but it's there. Then there's Pranamaya Kosha, your energetic body. We talked a lot about that yesterday, about feelings and they get stuck in your body and how you need to release them. So Pranamaya Kosha is also the place where I have needs, other people have needs, I have a need for challenge and I need to take care of it. It's the place of creativity, etc. Manomaya Kosha, the needs of the waves, the emotions and everything that you feel. Vijnanamaya Kosha is the needs of the intellect. And we talked about some movies don't intellectually satisfy you. A lot of movies, example, right? And then we have the Anandamaya Kosha, the needs of at the very core of the soul. So we are going to take care of all our needs with the focus on our spiritual development. And when you do that, you can be emotionally independent, you can be solid, you can be self-partnered, and people want to be with you. And you express your needs too. So birthday example, if I want a cake, I'll ask for a cake. Hey, I would really like it if I can get a cake tomorrow for my birthday. If the other person does it, wow, that's a bonus. If they don't do it, am I going to sulk? Why would I waste my time sulking? I'm going to make a cake for myself, offer it to Krishna, and then accept it as prasad. How many of us can do that? Yes? Yeah, evolved people. Yes? Why waste time? Take care of your needs, be happy. Move on to the next thing in your relationship. Possible? Not possible. So another thing is, in relationships, we've done with the keys, a lot of keys we've discussed is also, relationships are here to help you grow. I'll share a few stories. I think we have some presentation here, right, at 7? So I need to close now. I think that's what I need to do. Okay. Okay, I'll quickly finish this one. So there is the shloka in Padma Purana. This makes for a very big different talk. I have a lot of sessions on YouTube you could watch. But Rinanu Bandhana Rupena Pashu Patni Sutalaya Runakshaya Kshayanti Tatra Parivedana. Every relation that you're in right now is a result of the previous bondage. Once the debt is annihilated, there is no relationship and hence end of suffering in this samsara. So there's a lot of karmic debts to resolve. Nobody is in your life by chance. They have been perfectly sent to you for your purification, to press those triggers and buttons so that you can work on yourself. And plus, there are some results from the past that you need to take, some exchanges from your past lives. And there's a story I'd shared in earlier places. There was this lady in living in the mountains, married to her husband, and they used to not get along. And then she went to her mom's home, and this man fell very sick. And then he went to a healer, Isabel. She healed him, as a service, and she was doing all that. And that man had a lot of gratitude for her. And then his wife came, and the wife thought that Isabel and him were having an affair, but they were not having an affair. And whatever, they died with all those emotions. Next life, those two women were born as sisters. Now somebody's interested. Okay. next life, those two women were born as sisters. And what happened? Who was the man married to? So the man was married to Isabel in the next Janma, and Isabel's elder sister, closing. I thought I had a minute. Okay, no. End of story. I can't do anything if Tarka Prabhu says no. Okay. Hare Krishna.